Today we're going to be reading Days in the Trouble with Kittens by Cass Gray. And I think we'll do 2 chapters this time because it's still quite weird because I said I was going to read chapter 3 in the first few chapters but I accidentally didn't.
And we need to watch the Bake Off final.
Yeah, we need to watch the Bake Off final. My dad just threw his pants.
Let's get them out of the way.
Yeah, we don't need that here. Chapter 8. The trouble with aeroplanes is all the seats should be by the windows. If all the seats in aeroplanes were by the windows, then everyone could look out. Mum said she didn't mind not looking out of the window because she looked out of the aeroplane window before, but I think putting seats in the middle of an aeroplane is silly. Before we put our seat belts on, we had to put our bags in a high-up cardboard
Cupboard. Yeah.
Cupboard high up. Yeah, we done that. Above our seats. Mum said that it was called an overhead locker and that once the plane had taken off, she would get my things out of my rucksack to play with. Then we had to put our seatbelts on. The trouble with seatbelts is you're not allowed to keep unclipping them and then doing them up again and then unclipping them and doing them up again and then unclipping them and doing it up again. At least I think that's right. I got really good at undoing and doing up my seatbelt, but then I got found by an aeroplane lady. Then my mum said the plane wouldn't take off if I didn't leave my seatbelt on. Alone. So I had to just do it up and not unclip it after that. When we took off my tummy went all funny. That's the trouble with planes taking off. They go so fast your tummy can't keep up. Otherwise they'd be flying out the window. Okay, I don't think that's true. At first I nearly didn't look out of the window, but when I did, it was brilliant. Everything on the ground had gone really small. All the cars on the roads looked like tinsy toy ones, and all the trees and fields looked like tiny broccolis inside little green squares. Mum said the higher we got, the smaller everything would look, and she was right because then we went even higher. When we went right up into the air above the actual clouds, real actual clouds. Great big fat fluffy ones that looked like great big fat oodles and oodles of white fluffy cotton wool. I want to get out of the plane and bounce about on them, but Mum said no one was allowed outside during the journey. And plus, if you're really high up, there's less oxygen.
That's right.
So we wouldn't be able to live in the boiling hot. But I can see what she means, but it's actually quite big.
Oh, she's looking down on the airport.
And there's like 3 more we can get. So I'm probably gonna be reading all those. And anyway, we still had to keep our seatbelts on. That's the trouble with seatbelts. If you take them off before you're allowed to, the airplane lady will come and tell you off. When we were allowed to undo our seatbelts, the captain driving the plane did an announcement. He said that we would soon be cruising at 37,000 feet.
37,000?
Yeah, 37,000 feet. At that a little bit later. We were going to be given breakfast to eat, plus teas and coffees. Then I decided I needed my pad and pencil case. The trouble with needing pad and pencil case when they're in an overhead locker is your mum has to undo her seatbelt, get up, squeeze past the person she's sitting next to, reach up to the overhead cupboard and take the pad and pencil case out of your bag to give it to you. I have to keep my pencil case at school, so I don't have to worry about that. The trouble with needing a comic just after you've needed a pad and pencil case is then your mum has to do it all over again. Then I needed my giraffe, and then I needed my monkey keyring, which made her a little bit cross, and the person she was sitting next to got a little bit huffy and puffy. So in the end, Mum took my whole rucksack down from the overhead locker, gave it to me, and told me to keep it under the seat in front of me, so I did. But the trouble with needing to go to the loo. But then I needed to go to the loo. The trouble with loos on airplanes is they're a bit small. My loo at home has a bath in it and everything. The one on our aeroplane didn't even have a shower or even a rubber duck. Plus, when I was sitting on the seat on the loo seat, my ears began to feel all shushy. I think it says shushy. Gosh, that is still a lot of pages until the first chapter's done.
You go then.
Okay, I think I got a lot. When I came out of the loo, my mum said that because we were so high up in the sky, the air pressure in our ears could begin to feel different. Then she told me to pinch my nose and swallow. Okay, I just make sure. The trouble with pinching your nose and swallowing is it makes your ears go funny. Yeah, it does. I just tried it and it's like, oh yeah, that's quite funny. At first, I didn't know what my ears were doing. They just felt wiggly inside, and then everything went all loud. Yeah, that's happened to me loads of times. Because when Mum's doing my hair with a hairdryer, it gets a little bit louder in my ear. Mum said it was called popping, but I didn't really like it. I preferred not popping or still shushy. When we got back to our seats, I got my pad and pencil out of my bag to do some drawing. Draw an aeroplane, said Mum. Draw a Spanish aeroplane, which was quite a good idea, except by then I'd worked out how to play with the tray in my seat. Oh gosh, she keeps putting up, down, up, down, up, down. Boom. The trouble with airplane trays when they're right in front of you is they really make you want to lower them and push them back up again. And then lower them and push them back up again. And lower them and push them back up again. And lower them and push them back up again. Because it's really good fun. Trouble is, the man sitting in the seat in front of me didn't know how to work his tray, so he got all jealous and huffy and puffy, and he kept turning round to frown at me. So Mum said I'd better put my tray up and leave it, but I couldn't because our breakfast had arrived.
You're bending your